Crypto is down. Like really down. Which is why it is the perfect time to go all in and get a crypto job today. And I'm completely serious. Bear markets are almost always the best time to go all in on an industry. Many of the most impactful protocols today were started in the crypto winter after 2018. Even though the price is down, crypto and Web3 still have a lot going for them, especially as an employee. Not only have crypto companies been absolutely flooded with venture capital over the last few years, there's still a severe lack of knowledgeable employees in this space. Lots of money without that many employees to spend it on means better opportunities for you. Crypto jobs are usually different than normal jobs in a few different ways. First of all, they almost always have the option to be remote and have distributed teams spread across the world. These jobs are fast-paced, which can be a great opportunity to jumpstart a career. They are usually higher paying than equivalent jobs in other industries. And in my opinion, the people working in crypto are some of the coolest and most fun people that you can meet. By definition, anyone who works in the crypto industry is more likely to be a risk taker and less likely to be worried about being normal, which means that in a work environment, it's likely to be a lot more informal and fun, even though you'll still be working very hard. So, where can you get one of these jobs? I've put together a list of the 5 best ways to get a crypto job, including specific links, which I'll put in the description below. All of these methods have different pros and cons, but if you're motivated and you pick the best method for you, I have a very high confidence that you will get a job in crypto. So number 1 on the list, and one of my personal favorites, is going to crypto conferences. Crypto conferences are probably the best way to meet people in the industry. And in the span of just a few days, you'll probably be able to make a high number of quality connections. At every crypto conference I've been to, everyone is super open to meeting new people, even if you're not already in the industry. And people are almost always willing to help, so if they're not hiring, they can probably point you in the direction of someone who is. Because you are meeting people face to face, the chances that you'll skip directly to the interview stage are much higher. And one added benefit of being at a conference is that you might get exposure to different protocols that you wouldn't have discovered on your own. The other interesting thing about these conferences is that at some of them, the vast majority of people there are already working in the crypto industry. So the ratio of potential employees to job openings is skewed much more in your favor. Not all conferences are created equal, so it's important to keep that in mind when you're picking a conference to go to, especially if you're looking for a job. My favorite conferences are the ones put on by the Ethereum Foundation, and there's a great list at ethereum.org, which I'll put in the description. There are loads of these conferences taking place all over the world, so there's a good chance that there's going to be one happening near you within the next few months. If you're interested in layer 1 blockchains other than Ethereum, just take a look at those official conferences for those protocols, as these are probably the best places to go. The main downside of using a conference to find a job is that it can be super expensive, especially if you have to travel and book a hotel, and it is a large time commitment during the span of the conference. But that said, if you can swing it, it's probably one of the best ways to find a job, and it's a lot of fun. If you want an inside look at what goes on in these conferences, check out my DEVCONNECT Amsterdam recap video. But anyway, on to method number 2 for finding a crypto job. Next up, we have a trick that I learned while I was working in the startup world, and that is looking for jobs in companies that have just raised rounds of venture funding. These companies, in general, are the most likely to be actively hiring at any given moment. The whole reason why a company or protocol would raise money from venture capitalists or investors is so that they could expand their business and grow faster, which is why oftentimes there are big waves of hiring after every single round raised by a company. And in crypto land, because the vast majority of companies are startups, this is a great place to look. Looking for companies announcing fundraising rounds on tech or crypto news sites like CoinDesk or TechCrunch is a good place to start. You can also look at Crunchbase, which is a great place to get more details on the rounds that were raised. For example, you can see that the layer 2 protocol Optimism just raised $170 million. And if you look at their jobs page, you can see they're trying to put this money to work and hiring for a lot of different roles, including some non-technical ones. The next place to find a crypto job is right under your nose in the protocols that you are already using. This is a great way to get a job for a variety of reasons. First of all, when you get a job with a company, especially a startup company, you are making a bet on the long-term success of that company. You're doing this by investing your most valuable resource, time. If a company is massively successful after you join, it can be very rewarding for both your bank account and your career. If you are already using a company's product, then that's a good sign that that product may be something valuable, which in turn means that the company might be more likely to succeed. The other major benefit of applying to jobs for protocols that you already use is that being knowledgeable and enthusiastic about the product puts you leagues ahead of other applicants. So think about every crypto protocol or company that you may have touched in the last few weeks and go look and see if they have a jobs page. Speaking of jobs pages, it can be worthwhile to go look at some crypto specific job boards. There are a lot of these popping up, but two I like are the Bankless Jobs Board and cryptocurrencyjobs.co. Other places that you can look for crypto jobs are Hacker News and AngelList for startups, or just on LinkedIn. But if you do cold apply to one of these jobs through a random job board, do yourself a favor and please send an email to someone at the company, or send them a Twitter or Discord DM saying that you applied. A good person to send it to is either the CEO if the company is small enough, a recruiter if they're big enough, or the person that you think you would be reporting to if you get the job. This makes a huge difference in helping your application stand out, especially if you tell them why you are interested in the company in the first place. Our last method is for the builders out there, and it is probably the best method if you are a designer or a coder, and that is hackathons. Crypto hackathons are worthwhile on their own due to the connections that you can make and the prizes that you can win, but they are also crawling with recruiters. For hackathons, one of the best places to look is ETH Global. All of their events are really well run, and they have a ton of hackathons both in person and online. Gitcoin is another good place to look for crypto hackathons, and so is DevPost. I'll make sure to put all the links to these websites down below. If you see a protocol that you are interested in working with as a sponsor, build something using their technology for your project. Having actually built something with their technology shows that you have a deep knowledge of the product and that you're willing to put in the work. And if you do well in a hackathon, you'll probably be getting messages from all kinds of recruiters anyway. Even if you don't get a job directly from a sponsor and you don't do well in the hackathon, it's still a great place to meet other developers. And meeting other crypto developers and designers could also lead to referrals, which could get you a job in crypto. One hesitation that a lot of people in crypto that I've talked to have is that a job in crypto is too risky. Yes, it's true that a job in crypto or Web3 is a lot more risky than more traditional jobs, but I would argue that it's not as risky as you think. At a fast-growing crypto company in a rapidly changing industry, you are much more likely to have multiple responsibilities, more personal accountability, and you are a lot more likely to learn how to adapt in a dynamic environment. These skills are infinitely more transferable than the skills that you would learn at a traditional 9-to-5 corporate job. While it's true that any specific job might have more of a chance of disappearing in the crypto industry, as an individual, you'll become much more anti-fragile working in an industry like this. If you do get a job using any of these methods, don't forget to come back and leave a comment below. In the meantime, best of luck out there. I'm rooting for you, and I'll see you in the next video.